Hello and welcome to 168 Hours. Today we are going to cover the situation in Gaza, and my guest is Palestinian Jordanian journalist Yaman Alhelo. Thank you so much for making the time, Yaman.
Thank you. Thank you for having me as well.
How's the situation in Gaza? I mean the real situation, not the one that we see in international media.
As of latest reports now, we have the latest update to the casualties of the war that has been going on for 663 days. We have more than 60,000 people that have been killed by the war. And the estimations for those injured is over 140,000 in the Gaza Strip. We have constant warnings about famine. On the other side, we hear Israeli side talking and discrediting whatever reports that comes out, whether if it is from NGOs, whether it is from reports from reporters inside of Gaza. But it is catastrophic. This is the only way that we can describe it. I would describe it in another way, that the life for a person in Gaza at the moment is just like a constant test of how more misery can people actually endure. We get used to a specific kind of stories of bombings, and then it later goes on into not finding food, and then later goes on into displacement, constant displacement, warnings from shelling in areas, having to move from areas to areas. And then it's just a test of endurance and the test of how much can a situation actually get worse. That's how I see it, at least. Whether it is people not being able to leave as well. This is like also a scenario that, like in any regular war around the world that you have, people have the right to leave the war zone and at some point, through mandates, come back to their homes. And this is not the situation. So it is exceptional in all ways, in a very drastic way. Yeah, that's how I would say at the moment.
Yeah, there were even statements from Israeli human rights organizations. They have released statements calling out Israel for committing the genocide of Palestinians in Gaza.
I think, so as an example, Beit Salam, this organization, or other Israeli leftist organizations, them calling out what is happening in Gaza, a genocide, the same as Amnesty International or other organizations, it kind of discredits them at the moment. This is one way where I see it personally. So in the other side, we'll just see you as a person or an organization that is willing to take in propaganda from Hamas, propaganda from the Palestinians, and just completely discredit what you say about the situation. So therefore, if you say it's genocide, just this organization saying it's genocide, then it's so easy to frame it as a radical leftist organization that is, that is swallowing a lot of information from the wrong side. That's how I would call it. Another thing is, I do think that even in other medias, in Western media, I think I read today about, on the Washington Post, it comes as more opinionated articles of a reporter that is gathering multiple resources from scholars on genocide and saying, well, this is what scholars are calling it. But when it's reported, I think from our work as journalists, we say it, when it's reported in a short news form that you want to describe everything that is happening in the shortest words that you have, then people just would go by using the word war, even though that a war would usually have two sides, relatively in the same kind of power, supported by other sides, while what we see on the ground is just the most crucial powerful, strongest army in the world, the US Army supporting unlimitedly the Israeli side, and against a population at this point. Like when we hear about hospitals, when we hear about schools, when we hear about churches, the latest church that was bombed, an Orthodox church, is just if it's against a militia I wouldn't call it a normal war, especially if you're caging these people for almost 2 years now, and not letting them leave. And if you want them to leave, you will not let them back in. So in any kind of way, we have an organization, International Association of Genocide Scholars. These people study genocide for their living, and they call it a genocide. Then why would I listen to an Israeli official who is committing this genocide that is calling it not? I don't think the Nazis called whatever they did to the Jews a genocide at the time, or the Turks for the Armenians. I wouldn't listen to the side that is committing it and listen to their opinion about it. Do you understand?
How is the situation regarding journalists there working in Gaza and reporting what's going on?
Until now, Gaza is more exceptional again because Israel doesn't allow foreign journalists to go in. We watched a report yesterday published by the BBC where they were accompanying the airplanes that are dropping the relief boxes, which is a whole different story on its own. But the relief aid drops that have been happening, they accompanied one of these airplanes, and they got a message that they can't take aerial footage of Gaza from the air, as the BBC, of how does it look from the sky. This is the closest that any foreign media has gotten to the point of reporting on Gaza. Now, when we talk about the Palestinian reporters, which are already there, they work with Middle Eastern news outlets. Some of them work for the foreign news outlets. They've become just another target of this war. Hundreds have been killed. Tens of Al Jazeera correspondents, videographers, workers, technicians have been targeted, knowing that they are reporting on a specific narrative that the Israelis just don't want to be out. And the life of a journalist, I think most deaths in 2024 and 2025 of journalists has been only in Gaza. Journalists are not killed just like that around the world. When we see the demonstrations in Turkey and we hear a journalist that was arrested, that makes headlines, But then deliberately targeting and striking a point where there is a journalist wearing a press vest, this doesn't happen elsewhere.
Do you have relatives now in Palestine, and what they say about the situation there? How do they survive?
The war in Gaza has attracted on many different times around these 2 years a lot of attention, more than what is happening in the West Bank, the other region that is supposed to be under Palestinian Authority and supposed to be the place where Palestinians would have a state, something that Armenia have recognized in 2024. My relatives live in the West Bank. I come from the West Bank. Originally, my family was forced to be refugees in Jordan. I have many relatives in a village called Safa, next to Ramallah. This war has allowed to exploit the situation in the West Bank. There is not so much attention from media. So then we've heard about world record settlements that are being spread in the West Bank, Israeli settlements, attacks from settlers on Palestinian citizens, and at the same time, what we have in the West Bank is cities that are being separated more and more from each other. So you have checkpoints between every city that you want to move from to. So it made life on a daily basis just exhausting in a way that you can't leave to your work. Something that would take 30 minutes would take 3 hours instead. So transportation right is not accessible, and business have been killed. Also, Israel has banned most Palestinians that are working inside of Israel since October the 7th to work in Israel again, and that has stopped so many people from working. So this affects people such as the ones in my family in the West Bank.
What do you expect from international society? I mean, from different organizations and also states?
Boycott, pressure. This is the only way that we have seen such situations similar to the Palestinian cause that it has worked. We compare ourselves to South Africa in the 90s, where if it hasn't been through boycott from international community and from states, cutting complete relations with a country that is committing a genocide, then if they're not pressured to stop it, they will not stop. If you're depending on their mercy, they will not stop on their own. We need constant pressure, and we're seeing more progress in this. We hear about England wanting to recognize Palestine as well. France in September in the next UN Assembly, stopping sending weapons to Israel. This is the only way.
Have you ever faced censorship or pressure while trying to cover what's going on in Gaza for international media?
It's very tricky, of course. You have to take into consideration that you still want to live, and you don't want your editors to be angry, or have your editors, as an example, be under opposition, because there is always someone high up in the management that thinks of diplomatic relations between a country and a different country, and then they think of priorities as well. So yes, of course, there is always constant pressures. I think of anything that I want to report on 2 and 3 times before saying it, because I will need to know how will they react to it. And yeah, I've suggested topics sometimes that my editors will think it's not relative, or they would doubt the actual information that is coming out of resources that I would have.
How do you see the role of Palestinians living abroad in this situation? What they can do?
I think there is this feeling that I think in general diaspora that you would have, whether it's Palestinian or other diasporas that you would have, there is this responsibility, of course, sense of responsibility, and also some kind of I would say it like blame for yourself for feeling that you're in a good place right now. And you can't enjoy simple stuff in life because you know that your people don't have this. So when you have like normal outgoings into any kind of normal activity, you would just feel the blame that you shouldn't have fun, you shouldn't enjoy your life. Just because there is others that are similar like you from the same background that are suffering on a daily basis. But we should lead as we always do, and we should lead political movements. We should keep pushing the dialogue to an extent that will shift everyone's attention. So we have demonstrations everywhere around Europe, everywhere around the Middle East as well to some extent. And we have been lucky that we feel that there is support from the communities that we're living in because it's a very humanitarian cause. It doesn't take a lot to relate to. So whether you are in Germany, in the US, or any other country, those who feel for humans will always stand with us.
How do you see the solution of this situation?
I honestly don't know. I think you take in information, you analyze, but at some point, stuff doesn't make sense anymore. There is constant negativity that would come out after just seeing what actually happens. Then you start to think negatively about every single shift or scenario that is changing. I think the Palestinian cause, since its start, whether we're talking about the 40s or the 70s, or even now, it means much more on a global scale. Many people see it as the fight of culture. Many people see it as the fight of religion. And we've just been unlucky that it has become our land and our place to live. That is just part of a broader culture conflict between the West and the East, between Christians and Muslims and Jews and all of this. So I think it takes much more. It takes liberation on a much bigger scale for the Palestinians to be liberated. I think we are all under US global influence in our region that is controlling other governments in the region that are not able to pressure Israel the same way as their people would like them to do. So whether we take in the Egyptians, the Jordanians, the Moroccans, wherever you are in the Middle East, I'm pretty sure those governments think 100 times before they want to piss off the American aid or piss off the Americans who are giving them weapons and giving them legitimacy and allowing them to do business, etc., etc., etc. So until we are freed from all of this, Palestine can never be freed. That's why it's very important that we see it in this scope.
Thank you so much for the interview and stay strong.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for watching this interview. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.